with the Supreme Court now seemingly on the brink of striking down Roe v. Wade, many people are horrified. Not that women in half the country would lose their rights over their own body, but rather that this information got leaked, which is weird. It's like running around the deck of the Titanic trying to find out who yelled, "We're sinking," instead of focusing on the iceberg. Now, Chief Justice John Roberts has announced an immediate investigation to identify the leaker. But cable news doesn't have time to wait around, so everyone knows who really did it.
Who did it? That's the question everyone is asking today. Who's behind the leak?
Was it a clerk? Was it somebody at the copy machine? Who done it?
Some left-wing law clerk, angry at the direction the court is going.
I think this was leaked by a liberal law clerk who is trying to change the outcome of the case.
A lot of people are saying this may have leaked from Justice Sotomayor clerk.
If it was a conservative, it might be someone who wants to keep all the 5 judges that are on the side of Alito's opinion in their box there.
Yes, it was a left-wing Antifa law clerk trying to sabotage the court. Or it was a right-wing MAGA head trying to lock the decision in place. Or maybe it was the butler. It's always the butler. But while everyone on regular cable channels was playing the least horny version of Knives Out, Newsmax had already cracked the case. It was the black woman.
I find it suspect that the first leak coming out of the Supreme Court in history comes shortly after Judge Jackson is confirmed. She would be my first suspect when it comes to the leak.
And my first suspect for asshole is you. Bravo, detective, bravo. Look at you, using the tried and true investigative technique of the black person did it. And you know, everyone has theories, right? Everyone has theories. For all we know, it could have been an accident, right? There are many times that I've gotten drunk and sent something that it should have stayed in drafts, but I mean, I guess that doesn't make sense for the Supreme Court, because like, who would have gotten drunk at the Supreme Court? You know, it's
I still like beer.
My man. Look. Whoever did it though, I'm not surprised it happened. In fact, I can't believe that this didn't happen earlier. I mean, have you seen the security they have at the Supreme Court? It sucks. The guard outside is literally wearing a blindfold. It's not going to help anybody. And so I do get why they're trying to find this leaker. You know, you don't want this to turn into a trend. Right? They leak now, they're going to leak in the future. It's leaks all the way going forward. I mean, look at what happened in the world of comedy. Yeah, one stand-up gets slapped. Now, Dave Chappelle's getting tackled on stage. Shit. I had to get a pair of nunchucks just in case. Try that shit with me. That's right. Pop out now. Pop out now, I'm gonna show you. What? Knock myself out before you get to me. Now, while the Supreme Court is trying to figure out who the snitch is, the rest of the country is trying to figure out what women will be allowed to do with their own bodies. And while everyone knew that women in red states were in trouble, it turns out, thanks to some lazy lawmaking, there are also 2 blue states where women might lose the right to choose.
If the Supreme Court does strike down Roe v. Wade later this spring, all eyes in Wisconsin would then turn to a 170-year-old law that's still on the books. Wisconsin still has a ban on abortion in place from 1849. It outlaws all abortions except for cases where a mother's life is at risk.
In Michigan, the law was passed in 1931, and it bans abortion unless done to save the life of the person who is pregnant and contains no exception for rape or incest. The ban never had to be repealed because Roe had made it obsolete, but it is still state law, still in the books.
This is so ridiculous. If Roe v. Wade goes away, Michigan and Wisconsin are going to start using laws from 1931 and 1849? Do you understand how crazy? Think about how many laws, like, are from back then, huh? How many laws are we using from back then? Think about the laws that were even around. Half of them are about how much corn you can legally hide in your top hat. Those are the abortion laws that are about to come back into effect? Guys, unused laws shouldn't be a thing that come back. They should have like an expiration date. Or at the very least, states should smell them every now and again to make sure that they haven't gone bad. Now, you might be thinking, well, aren't Michigan and Wisconsin pro-choice? Yeah, they are, big time. More than 60% of Wisconsin voters and nearly 70% in Michigan support legal abortion. But their state legislatures are controlled by Republicans. Yeah, so you best believe, you're more likely to see Fashion Nova at the Met Gala than these Republicans repeal those laws. And so once again, the job of protecting Americans falls to the only people who actually care about them: corporations.
As women fight for abortion rights, Amazon says they'll help their employees access the health care they want. The company announced on Monday that it will pay for abortions for employees who need them. They'll give up to $4,000 a year to workers who need to travel to other states to seek medical care. Other companies like Apple, Citigroup, Levi's, and Yelp have made similar promises to employees.
Wow, that's a big deal. Yeah, companies like Apple, Citigroup, and even Amazon are promising to help their employees travel to other states if they need to get abortions, which is amazing. That's really amazing. Usually, you only see that kind of offer when a member of Congress gets his mistress pregnant. Really powerful. And considering the political climate right now, any company wading into controversial culture war issues, like, they could face serious backlash. I mean, pro-lifers could start a boycott against Amazon that could last minutes before they get tempted by a deal on a knockoff Roomba. And you know, to be honest, I'm actually surprised that Amazon is doing this. Yeah, because it's wild. They'll let employees go to a blue state before they'll let them use the bathroom. I mean, that's pretty wild. But they deserve the praise. In fact, I propose a toast. Let's all raise a Gatorade bottle of pee in Amazon's honor. Hear, hear. I thought it was piss. It's Gatorade. Wow. You guys mixed it the wrong way. So, those are the latest updates on the fallout of the Roe v. Wade leak from the Supreme Court. And while we don't know where this will end, we do know it's definitely reignited a conversation about how society treats women's reproductive rights. Because, you know, what I find interesting is if you go online, or if you watch conservative news, right, you're bound to find like tons of people saying that the reason they're against abortion, the reason, is because they don't want to interfere with what God has decided. If you got pregnant, it's because God wanted you to be pregnant. And if you can't have kids, that's God's plan too, which I understand as an argument. I really do. However, I find it interesting that these same people never use that argument when it comes to men. Yeah, because if you watch Fox News, or any of these channels, they've got ads for erectile dysfunction pills, right? Yeah, how come they never say, oh, you can't get it up? Well, that's God's will. I'm sorry. Your penis doesn't work anymore? That's what the Lord wanted. They never say that. They never say, medicine is always encouraged to do whatever it can to augment men's sexual health, however it can. And if you want to see just how far medicine is willing to go for men, look no further than this story from the UK, where doctors helped a man grow a penis on his arm.
A British man who lost his penis to an infection has finally had a new one surgically attached after 6 years of growing it on his arm. Doctors even designed a hand pump that can inflate the penis and produce an erection. 47-year-old Malcolm McDonald is the subject of a new documentary called The Man with a Penis on His Arm. According to the Daily Mail, viewers were stunned watching the program last night, in which Malcolm described the penis falling out of his sleeve while shopping, and even hitting his loved ones in the face while he hugged them.
Yeah. This man lost his penis, and instead of accepting it, doctors figured out a way to grow him a new one on his arm. And as hard as it was for him to live like this, I'm glad that medicine has come so far that we're basically doing something that's from the future. Meanwhile, we want women to live back in 1849, huh? And by the way, can I also just say how much I appreciate the title of that documentary, The Man with a Penis on His Arm. No, it's simple, it's clear, it's direct. Yeah, if I see that scrolling on Netflix, I know exactly what I'm getting. I know exactly what it is. Unlike Tiger King, I thought it was the sequel to Lion King starring tigers. It turns out the real star was meth. But you see, there's a reason I'm bringing up this story today, right? And it's not just for the incredible dick jokes I could make, no. Like, obviously getting an abortion and getting an arm penis aren't the same thing. But I do find it emblematic of how differently men and women's reproductive health is treated. Women across America will soon lose autonomy over their own bodies. And many people are fine with it. You even see people on TV downplaying the situation. So you'll have to carry a baby for 9 months against your will and then let it destroy your body, and maybe you're not ready for this in life, and maybe you can't afford it. It's fine. You can just give it up for adoption after. It's fine. Meanwhile, a guy loses his dick, and it's like Liam Neeson is on the case. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what medical innovations we have to come up with. We will get your penis back. Just think about that. All right, that's it for the headlines. Let's move on to something that everyone loves. It's time to check in on today's lottery numbers with Dulce Sloan, everybody! Fun time. Oh, I'm excited. I am so excited. What's happening, Dulce? What's going on? How you doing today? How you doing?
Listen, I am doing absolutely great. You know, blessed and highly favored. But before we get to the lottery, can we talk about Ketanji Brown Jackson, please?
Oh, you mean the Newsmax story where they said they suspect her?
Well, absolutely, because it's like everybody knows you don't do dirt when you first start a job. Like when you first start working somewhere, that's not when you steal. Otherwise, I would have walked out of here with 7 desktop computers. No, you start stealing when you about to quit, like that Stephen Breyer dude, you know, the white man. Of 100 of them, he's on his way out. He the one that leaked it. When you quit, that's when you start stealing. Everybody knows that.
It's an interesting theory.
Listen, I'll give you a prime example, okay? I used to work for a power company who cannot be named, and when I was getting ready to quit, everybody who called me whose lights wasn't on, I just turned their lights back on.
That seems...
Now listen, is it a felony? Maybe. But am I a good person? Absolutely.
I'm glad you didn't name them. I'm glad you named it. All right, well, let's do it. Let's get into this lotto.
Okay, let's get into this lotto.
Oh, man, this is exciting. All right.
Hey, lotto, 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 lotto.
All right.
All right, B6.
What? No. Wait, Dulce, no, that's bingo. I sent you an email saying we're doing lotto, and...
Yo, man, the last time you had me doing this, the balls didn't have no numbers. I brought you letters and numbers. Come on, baby.
No, but I sent you an email saying it needs to be numbers, but like it needs to still be lottery.
We talked about this. You think I'm reading whole emails? Did you put it in the subject line?
I can't put it all in the subject line.
Then you didn't want me to know the information.
So if you don't read the emails, what do you read?
Listen, if it's not on Instagram, I don't know what's happening.
What do you mean? I told you the lotto. I even told you about the news. I put the news in the email.
Listen, I get all my news from this show, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, boy. All right. Okay, let's see what the next one is then.
Number lotto, yeah. Is that a line? I-21.
This doesn't help us. Okay, I-21.
Wait, hold on. Let me. I'm sorry. Did you say a man had a penis on his arm?
Yeah, they grew a penis for him on his arm.
Okay, what? But that's the penis he chose? Like, yeah. If they give you if they finna grow you a new one on your forearm, yeah. Shouldn't it be like down to his fingertips?
I think it's weird to be worried about the size. Like, I think if you don't have a penis and then someone offers you a penis, I think you just take what you can get.
Listen, there are many times in my life when I haven't had a penis. And I promise you, I didn't settle for anyone that just came along. You understand? You got to have standards, Trevor, okay? You got to love yourself. Thank you so much. Now listen, that's all for me.
What do you mean it's all for you? You didn't give us the numbers.
I'm so sorry. I got distracted by the penis. I forgot about the balls.
Don't say Sloan, everybody.